Welcome to the Two Cool Parents Podcast with your host, Will and Shay.
Hey, y'all.
What's good?
Our podcast is for the cool but corny in all of us.
CBC.
Like, subscribe, rate, share. Tune in, y'all.
Let's go.
Hey, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
What it do?
All right.
Who are these people on your list, babe? Who is Cash Pimpin' Baby?
Oh, that's Terry.
That dude.
It's Charles.
9949.
That's Major.
Well, I figured that it's something major.
That's Larry. Scotty.
So if you guys don't know what we're doing, we're looking at Will's Xbox name. And
That's Tehran.
there's so many strange names on here. Somebody's Castro Cartel.
Yeah.
Like what?
That's
Danny
Chase.
Ocean.
That's Chase. That was somebody. I forget who that was.
Remember screen names, guys?
That's
Remember
all
you
it
had
is,
to come up with your
names.
screen name?
That's all it is. But welcome back to the Two Cool Parents Podcast with your hosts, Will and Shay. I'm Will.
Hey y'all, I'm Shay.
Oh,
I mean, he just like
deep. Hey,
conversation
y'all, I'm Shay.
diversion.
And
We have a special guest today. I'm so excited.
We have a guest.
It's my good girlfriend. Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Well, everybody say hi to you, but you gotta say hi. My name is
Right.
Well, you didn't give me any directions. I go well with directions.
I did. I said introduce yourself and
Hi,
tell us a little bit
everybody.
about yourself.
My name is Kia.
Hi, Kia.
You gotta talk into the mic.
Hi. Am I talking?
You gotta
She's got her
project.
sultry voice
I'm
on.
Project.
sorry. Like, I don't
Made me want to rub on myself.
Listen,
Oh,
Said,
I
touch
tend to
me.
do that to people. I am not messing with y'all.
I guess we just got
This
to
is the late night
to
edition
the
of the
tunes.
Two Cool Parents podcast.
Two Cool Parents After Dark.
OMG.
Too Cool
Yes.
After Dark.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that.
Shay's girlfriend.
My
homegirl,
good girlfriend.
Her sister in Moon,
Good girlfriend.
Moonology.
That's right.
My sister who put me on.
Yes.
She was like, girl, I got some magic for you. And I was like, what? She was like, girl, get into this.
She said magic.
Moon magic.
Voila, magic.
Moon magic.
So yes, we have Kia in the building.
Hi,
So,
everybody.
Kia, tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself to
And
our
introduce
listeners.
yourself. My name is Kia.
Hey.
I don't know what you're gonna say.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
Shabuya, roll call. That might be too old for our listeners. I wonder if our listeners know about that.
Nah, some of them probably do. Shout out to our listeners across the country and across the world. We thank you, appreciate you.
All right. Well, my name is Kia. I am.
Hey, Kia.
Hi.
Hi, Kia.
Hello. I'm a 16-year veteran in teaching.
She was about to say I'm a 16-year-old.
I am definitely not that. Definitely
I was about
not
to say,
that.
like, whoa, what type of podcast? Is this an R. Kelly podcast?
Education. I am the owner and creator of Relax, Relate, Reclaim LLC Counseling Services.
Yes.
Chapelar.
Yes, and I have my master's in counseling.
Yes.
And I am on my journey
Therapy,
of moon
guys.
magic and all things universe.
Yes. Universal.
So
yeah, that's Kia in a
we have a
nutshell.
real counselor in today, guys. So instead of us trying to talk to y'all, we gonna get counseled. Right? Is it pronounced proper way of saying it? Counseled.
Yeah.
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 So tell us what kind of counseling you do, though, because it's not just,
Well,
it's a
I
specific
deal-
genre.
Yes, a specific genre. I deal with children specifically.
Get your kids right, y'all. Y'all know y'all got some badass kids over there. I got some badass kids here, too. So Kid is here to help us all bring it in, woosah.
With the badass kids.
Let the universe help us and communicate with our
Not,
children.
you know, this kid didn't say, well, I'm not going to say that all badass kids.
I didn't get a chance to say
She didn't
that.
either. I just
didn't
jumped
even,
the
you just
gun.
jumped in there. I didn't even say that. Normally, people do say kids are not bad, which
Nah.
is true. But they are, most of the time is learned behavior.
I like it how the new principal at our daughter's school said, children are like Kansas soda.
Like what?
Yeah, he's like
that again.
he said they're like Kansas soda. He's like, you know, when the kid comes into school, we don't know if they were shaken up, because when we get a chance to really talk to them, open them, they may go all over the place. I'm like, oh, okay.
What type of analogy?
I'm probably like, simplifying it, but he said something similar to that effect, where like,
That's
it's
interesting.
like a can of soda. It was like back to school night when Lyndon first got into kindergarten. I was
Clearly, this was not when I was present, because I would have raised my hand and been like,
like, it wasn't. Well, he didn't say it like that,
"Can you
but
clarify what you mean by can of soda?"
that's when he said something.
Trying to say my child is carbonation with some food
I
coloring
can't. Oh my goodness.
And syrup. Don't forget the syrup.
syrup. Even though I will say pineapple soda is amazing, so if my child is
No.
pineapple soda, then pineapple
put
soda
shade.
she will.
First of all,
I found
pineapple
some-
soda is not better than orange with a good hoagie.
You right.
And some
I
Hershey
do-
chips. Can I get some? Thank you.
I beg to differ. Orange pineapple soda.
I don't know. I would take orange over pineapple.
We had
With a
that Canada Dry pineapple.
Extra oil, mayo.
Nah, hope you got the oil.
A hoagie is
light
a
oil.
sandwich for all of those who do not live in the greater Philadelphia area.
Or a hero.
Or a sub.
Or sub.
Or a steak and cheese. Can I get a steak and cheese, please?
I've never heard anybody ask for a steak and cheese.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But other places say, "Oh, can I get a steak and cheese?" Okay, we're off
But
topic.
to, I'm
That
sorry,
sounds
but yes,
like-
to answer your question, I specialize in children and family therapy through the state of New Jersey.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyone who is outside of the state can still message us and get in contact with you, though, for some
Yes.
one-on-one sessions. Because we
Yeah,
got to
the
keep them coins
Relax,
coming.
relate, reclaim
Yes.
LLC at gmail.com.
I was gonna say the first one's free, but I guess not.
No,
No, though.
We all like to get our own coin,
Yes.
build it,
I
and they
get
will
mine in
come.
doses. When she comes over, I give her wine for advice.
Hold, please. I'll be right back.
Are you going to check on the little one?
He's right here.
You see him? He breathing all hard around the corner, like Jason.
Breathing on the track. OMG. Y'all have to understand there are 3 Sages in the building right now. And it is literally like after dark, so we are all just tripping and giddy and happy.
Unbelievable.
We are in our zone. So listen, let's jump into it, Kia.
Okay.
I've known you now going on about a year, but I've known who you are longer than that.
Yes.
But just like good girlfriend friendship for about a year. Kia and I instantly clicked across the room. We were like, girl, yes.
I saw the sparkle. I was like, oh, she glitter like me.
It's hard to find a glitter girlfriend.
It is. It really is, because so many people are just putting out facades that they are glittery and they shine, But once you kind of talk,
Get it out of them.
get it out, it's like, oh.
So tell me, is it hard? Do you think it's hard for women to make friendships once you're past 30-something years old?
I do. I do. I think,
Because in this day and age, it's like, ain't nobody got time to date friends.
and that's
You know,
that's basically,
that
and
you
you know
haven't
what? It's
grown
funny
up
that you
with?
say that, because I was having this conversation the other day, and I was saying, for someone like myself who is over 30 with no children as of yet,
We'll get into that soon.
yes, we'll be getting to that soon, but it's difficult because you have I gotta find a babysitter,
Hello? All
or
the time.
I gotta go, me and my husband have to do this, and I have a significant other, but most of the time it's those interrupters and that type of scheduling that is an issue for someone like myself to get close to. So then when I come over, I gotta hear what the husband got to say.
Sorry.
I gotta hear what the baby got to say, and the other baby got
She
to
loves
say.
our kids,
Yes,
so
I do.
it's
Yes, I
okay.
do.
Christian
But
is her boyfriend, so
that is my
G, if you're listening, I'm so sorry you have been replaced.
I'm back.
Will's
he's
back.
He sleep.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah, he didn't come downstairs. I just thought I heard him.
Look at Will out here.
Hearing those phantom noises.
Wow. Kia is talking about, just to bring you up to speed, Kia is talking about just how hard it is to make friendships when you're past 30. It seems like.
We were just talking about that, weren't we?
Yes.
Like the other day.
And
And
I was
it
saying
is.
how like it's difficult for that level, but then you get the different types of relationships. Is this a professional friendship?
Ooh, child.
You know, in the professional
I
friendship
try not to
and
mix those two.
alone, or is this? And then you get in those ego battles with women where it's just like you're in a relationship with a one-upper. So everything you do is
It's Mr. Me 2+1.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
just,
we did that, but we did this when we went there.
right. It's like nah. So like it's funny. I'm constantly in this whole movie cinematic thing about how I'm not there yet.
Right.
You know, so I have to constantly not remind my girlfriends, because my very best good friend of 20-something years, she gets it, you know, and, you know, my new friends, such as yourself, they're like, okay, well, we going to do the kid thing, and then we going to put her in bed, then we going to be, you know, so I get it. And it's definitely a
Pain in the ass.
change
Yes.
in the dynamic, but it's
And
definitely
it's a change for me too,
Yeah.
because probably since moving here, I've had 2 friends in 5 years. First one would be Lyric, and they moved to Portland. So
Shout out to the
yeah, I mean,
Mobleys.
people who are like from this area,
Yeah.
not the ones that I brought from like DC area. And so it's great to have like someone that you can just call on and talk to that's 5-10 minutes away and be
Yes.
like, hey girl, I just need a glass of wine in the vent, or let me put the kids together and we gonna hop on the podcast, or let's go just find some trouble to get into. We haven't done that yet.
yes, no,
But you know,
No, y'all
when two
did. Yo, remember
sad
y'all
get
went to
together.
Germantown? Y'all were like, oh, we gonna
we
check
didn't
this
get
spot.
was in
in trouble.
trouble. That was a self-care
Yeah.
mission.
Oh, South Carolina.
Absolutely.
Yes, we went to
We went and got buddy butter.
Udane?
Yeah, Udane.
in Germantown.
Shout out to Udane Cultural Solutions or something
Yes.
like that. They're I think they're based in New York, Atlanta, and Philly. So if you guys haven't, we'll link it in the podcast so you guys know that's where we get our body butters from.
I guess we
And
gotta figure out how
they're
to get this.
amazing natural soaps.
Man, listen.
I guess we gotta figure out how to get them to send that stuff cross country if we go cross country. Where Kia's not trying to have us go cross country.
And they do ship in
They do ship.
cross
They
country.
do? Okay.
Yeah.
They do ship. They do
Or
ship.
we can
But
just
the
have Kia,
experience.
or we can just have Kia bring it with her when she comes
So
out to visit.
you gonna flued me out?
We gonna flew you out, girl.
I got flued out.
I got flued out for some soap.
Yes. Listen, for some good body butter and
Let me
soap,
tell you something.
I will
So-
flew you
so-
out.
I
so-
did a
so-
whole
so-
post about how me
That
and
Jamaican
soap
butter.
have a newfound really. I
Yes.
love a good
A good smelling soap.
soap.
Lathering.
Ooh,
girl.
Especially when you do
Yes.
your shower meditation.
Ooh.
Gotta let it go. Let the bubbles burst your negativity away.
Come on, let the bubbles burst your negativity away. Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry, Will.
How'd you let that
It's,
roll
it's
over
cool.
your beat?
I mean, I'm just here. I'm a moderator. I'm like Lester Holt for the Democratic, you know, for the Democratic joints. You know,
Well,
no, you know what's-
Lester.
Do you know what's funny about those things? I don't know if you guys watched it. I had it on in the bed, and Shady and I were like listening to it while I was looking up houses. And what's really funny is like Lester and Chuck Todd and Rachel Maddow, when like one of the candidates would talk, they were like, "Ma'am, Senator, ma'am." I found out now as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that politics is nothing but passive aggressive arguing.
I mean, you have to yield to the speaker.
like when Kamala and Joe were going at it. I
I
was
mean,
like,
they dominated that debate.
Like I was like, oh, here we go. But what was funny was that
But
she
listen, the winner comes out on top. They're the
she
ones who gets
said-
their point across. There were like 15 people on
you know,
stage.
it's 10 the second night, 10 the first night. But the thing was, when they went back and forth with it, I was like, the ratings just went up. But what was funny was like, all right, y'all, we're not here to have a food fight. We're trying to help Americans put food on the table. And then I said, I was like, but Kamala actually kind of tuned in for the food fight.
I mean, we Americans are here
But
for the
shouts out
food
to
fight.
the what's the author's name? She was like
Oh yeah.
she's one of I think part of Oprah's book club or something like that. And I was like, ooh,
She is
she
Oprah's
was
spiritual guider.
She was like hitting like key points. I was like, the writer has
She's
a point.
Oprah's spiritual guider?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. And she wants to lead our country. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Hey.
There's something for everybody.
She was hitting the nail on the head a couple times. She had to fuck you.
Listen, is
few
Kanye
points.
running? Because I'll vote for him. Right now,
he's
I'll
not-
vote for anybody
Nah, he
other
can't.
than what's in
Nah,
office.
He can't do that right now. He ain't got the capital to run for office right now. But they try to play my man Andrew Yang. I think is that. I know it's Yang. I don't know his first name, but he's the one that was like, we can give everyone $1,000 a month.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, I like $1,000 a month. But then they were like, so how would you do that? And he gave up, a pretty good play. But, he talked about taxes. Like, we want to add another tax to do that. But you'll still get your $1,000 a month. But it's similar to what they're almost doing in Europe. I was like,
Listen, when they were talking about today about that $17 trillion reparations bill, I was like, I'm here for it. When are we going to get it? I don't care how much it costs now, but send that check to me.
So
okay?
me and my good
In my
friend,
Cardi B voice.
me and my good friend Kyle, we were like, I was like, Kyle, well, since you half black, I think you only get like half the reparation.
It's funny you say that because I was watching The View earlier this week, and one of the
Shout out
guest
to Auntie
speakers.
Wilkie.
Shout out for The View.
Yes,
Auntie
one
Wilkie.
of the speakers was saying just that. It's like, well, what do you do with the people that are half? It's like, it's just too difficult.
Wait a minute. What do you mean half? They count too.
He was like,
Not
'cause
when
he
they
was like-
count, but
he was
you-
like, there was a small percentage that only actually claimed to be black, and it was so
It's
funny
12%.
because everybody was
I think-
like, huh?
12%.
It's like-
If you claim that you're black on the census, you get you get a portion of that $17 trillion.
But then you say like your other, but then like you're like,
I do
so
click other on.
So what if it,
When
so,
I apply
thank
for
you-
jobs.
Well, I'm about to say you messed up my census money,
But not
you
on my
messing
census.
You messing up my reparations.
I collect my whole check on the census.
Does Tiger Woods get some of that reparations money?
I mean, I would give Tiger a little bit too.
I think he gets like an eighth or like a 12th of it. Because remember, he's
Listen,
cobbling Asian, so
but
that
what
blood,
what does he
part,
check? Does he check the black box? If he checks the black box, he gets a little bit.
Okay.
If not, no.
Well, does Barack Obama
If
get
they
reparations?
If Barack Obama checks the black box on his census, then yes, he gets his reparations. I don't see how this is hard.
Okay.
Look,
What
I'm
about-
all for Rachel Dolezal getting her reparations too.
Me
She
habla
checked the
es-
black box too.
Mi habla español.
Negative. Negative on the Rachel. Negative.
she checks the black
all
box.
way. Nope.
She checks the black
Well,
box.
I'll-
That girl is pro-black in everything that she does.
She is literally.
She is.
Except for that, when she was really pro-black, when like she made money off of like her like whatever she was doing. I think it was like book tour or whatever. And then
Listen, she promote the culture better than half the rest of people do.
But then
Negative.
You just go negative.
Negative.
you see what I have to deal with on this thing sometimes.
Negative.
I'm like, shit, you are a hot takeaway.
no.
You are a hot
Listen,
takeaway
no.
from
Somebody
being
gotta
banned.
bring-
You're a hot takeaway from being banned on Black Twitter.
Oh, what?
A hot
No,
takeaway
because
for
also
being
you have to
banned on
understand that
Black
being black,
Twitter.
and we were talking about this earlier, the trauma that goes with being black, the trauma that we have been dealt over the years, stemming from slavery, is in our DNA. Rachel don't know nothing about that,
No, she don't.
so that to me is the qualifier. So, honey.
So I
negative.
guess then we can't
Sit
check the black
down.
box. Then what do you have to do then to
That's,
get your coin?
that's
Because I'm
not
gonna
my.
get my coin.
Yeah, that's fine, but that's not my lane. That's not.
I
That's,
guess-
it's
I guess-
above my pay
I
grade.
guess we gotta go back-
I am
I
not.
guess we really have to go
going
back
to
to-
try and figure that out.
I guess we really have to go back to Jim Crow and say, okay, all right, one drop of granddaddy blood that's black. Then
I mean, we gonna
that
hand
would
out
be
blood tests? Like, what is this?
85% of the nation with all.
Right.
Yeah. So.
matter of fact, if everyone,
That's why they said it's $17 trillion. They made a guesstimate that's how much it would cost.
because
well, look, I'm saying that if you paid Japanese Americans, Native Americans, Jewish Americans, you paid all these other ethnic groups money, you can pay us money. Period.
I'm here for it because I want to collect my check.
I want my 40 acres in a mule.
I don't want no mule, but I'll take 40 acres.
I'll
my
take-
theory
I'll
is
take around 40
think
acres in the
my,
Benz.
my theory is that that's where all these find your lineage and your heritage companies are coming from to catalog us into what we are. I honestly think that that's what that is.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's the reason why, like, if you go to, African Ancestry, shout out to African Ancestry, who said they do not sell your your results to third parties, which I truly believe but the thing about African ancestry, they're fairly expensive to like get that full DNA test. But like if you go to 23andMe and Ancestry.com, they do, like you say, catalog it, but then sell it off to the government or whatever.
Listen, the government, in my opinion, already knows who the people are.
The government.
So it's just a matter of whether or not they will do it. I really think that's what it is. I think they know exactly who you are based off of your birth certificate.
Yeah.
So it's
and your social security
number.
number.
And your social security number. So they know where everyone is.
You gonna fix your mic?
Why is it bothering you that it's crooked?
Yeah. Can you okay? Does that mean looks you good?
Yeah, we can
As
still
long as you're
hear.
happy.
Wow, you have no idea what's been happening behind the scenes with Will and this whole podcast thing.
He's like pointing and giving random hand signals like he's trying to land a plane. At Kia, and I'm like, what are you doing?
My mic was crooked. It wasn't that you couldn't hear me. It wasn't that it was down by my knees. Like it just was crooked, like a little to the left, like a 45-degree angle. And he wasn't happy. But okay, director.
You know what? Okay, we're cool. Whatever. My mic ain't finished download. I'm just here to moderate. Continue.
I love Kia. You are welcome anytime on the podcast.
But as I said so many times, being here, for those people who just don't know what that is, being in the presence of Will and Shay, I myself am a Sagittarius, so it's like watching myself in two different sexes communicate to each other at the same damn time. It's hilarious because I'm like, I would have said that. No, I would have said that too. No, I would have did that. Yeah, and then I would have did that too. So I just sit back most of the time, and then the kids interrupt every once in a while. Miss Key, and I play with them, and then I'll be like back to Will and Shay, looking at them, see what they're gonna do next. It's hilarious.
It's a baller party.
And then it's just me and my facial expressions.
She does have mad facial expressions.
I do.
Kia reads us for filth though on the low. Yes, you do.
She said, "I do not."
There was a pause.
It was a
in
pause
there.
before that not. It's okay.
Kia was like, "You talk about home a lot, Shay." I was like, "Damn, I do."
Oh yeah. But I find it funny. I have friends that are also from other places, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm from New York," and then I'm like, "Chick, you haven't been in New York in 15 years." Like you have a whole grown child in college, like since you've been in New York, like it's official. You're in you are a Jersey head.
You just mean girl. You don't even live there no more.
I don't say that.
I claim Jersey. It is the name of my handle. Yeah, I claim Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You gotta change your handle to West Coast Housewife.
Ew,
that's what you got.
this is depressing.
Hey.
Jersey Housewife is perfect. Okay,
So you can still be Jersey Housewife if you move out west?
damn straight.
Okay.
I'm always gonna be a Jersey housewife. That's where I became a housewife. I'm at home, ain't I? I'm a wife, ain't I? Housewife. Let's move on. Kid, back to your topic. She would have said the same thing. No? No?
Continue.
You don't want to be?
No.
You don't want to be a Jersey housewife?
No.
Why not?
Why should I? I have my own business. I'm not like
Ready,
I'm not.
fight.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
I'm not into that
let's
whole.
get into this.
Yeah, I don't think that's not for me. I'm not a.
Please do tell.
That's not for me. I'm not a stay-at-home type person.
I'm not either.
Well, then that would be a housewife.
It's just a moniker.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not going to name something that I'm
Shay
not
said before.
a part of.
That is true.
Yeah, why are
but
you
I
doing
like
that to
being
yourself?
a housewife, though.
I think you like it because it's attached to another type of entity that's glamorous.
it is.
Yeah,
that's
so
clearly what I'm
exactly. I need you to stop.
playing on.
No,
It's because they're all white and I'm black.
yeah, no.
So that's why I do
Why are
it.
you even? Why are you attaching yourself to something?
I've
that's-
never even watched the show. I don't even know what it's
So
about.
let it go. Let it go.
But I like the
Let it
name.
go. Come up with something different, girl.
Ooh,
Come
that
on, I
takes
help
thought
you.
and
I
concentration.
help
right, Twitter folks. So apparently I need a new Twitter name.
This is great.
So Kia said I need a
Kia
new
is
Twitter
literally
name.
Kia said she's like she's like, oh, I'm like I see myself in two different sexes. That's something I would have told Shay, but not as nice. I'm like, turn that shit off. Take it out.
Whatever. Will loved it.
No.
Oh, all right.
What if that makes you happy? You
If
do
it,
what you do.
hey, look.
No.
If it perks up your day,
It does.
Then there you go.
There
Makes
you
me
go.
feel good because I'm not a housewife at all, except for my current status.
But we're learning
That's
now.
good. That's called
we know, but
that-
we're learning now that
that's
that
called
words
unemployed.
and names.
Words
and
do have meaning. I say that all the
Exactly.
time. So, yes,
Okay.
be better.
Let's be more productive and
See, this is why I
movement.
love Kia, because Kia challenges me to grow. She challenges me to
do the same.
think and
I do the same.
but on a woman's level.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for clarifying.
Yes. So she challenged me like, girl, don't be with the basic shit.
And it's not even that. It's, I mean, just having the conversations that we have, knowing we're trying to move forward in this spiritual
Yes.
life. Some of the
But I
things
like
we have
being
to let.
ratchet though.
That's fine. So do I. Like, hello.
I know.
Hello. But my point about that is, I'm not trying to claim something that's someone else's. I want to claim something that's mine and only mine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead, boo.
I'm learning this thing here.
Yes.
I'm learning this, and I'm trying to share.
Yes. Teach
trying to
me.
share.
Teach
me.
one. Reach one.
Help me. Because apparently I ain't got no sense.
You got enough to be here.
Ooh. Shagger.
Y'all should see the faces right now. This is why we really gotta get this video thing popping, because the faces right now, I'm just like,
You have to understand. This is me and Kia all the like in conversation. This is
All
what
day.
we do. We could probably literally have a conversation in emojis.
Oh
and
yes.
we would totally get everything.
you know what? I'm not gonna be mad at you because literally, my boy Major and I, shout out to Major, love you, bro. We can have a conversation straight memes and gifts.
I feel like you should. Like if you and that person click, it shouldn't have to be words. Sometimes you could just look at a person and be like,
But have you noticed that now a lot of like your reactions are gifs and memes that you've seen before? Like when someone says something like a little while, you're like, I'm making the face right now. But y'all think of any meme face like someone said something stupid and wild. You're like, really? Like, come on, really? But you know,
I mean, well, that's because the memes are based off of what we have done before. So it's like,
and you guys are
we all
speaking
are like,
hieroglyphics with emojis.
really?
Yeah.
So what's up? So what's going on? You want to talk about relationships? What you want to talk about, kid? You're
just
the guest.
here. Like I'm just
This is your
here,
first time.
and this is
She has already delved into it.
We've been trying to get you on for a while. Last time you were here, I passed out.
totally. It was hilarious. I was like, that ninja is snoring.
Like knocked out.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, it was a long day of work.
It's cool. It's cool. I'm here now, so I'm just here to just absorb the experience.
Good.
Yeah.
We love having guests. So we
Guess
talked
what?
about kind of like what you do,
Mm-hmm.
your specialty, which is children or what's the age
therapy.
range?
The funniest part is a lot of people, let me just first say this. A lot of people, when they find out what I do, they're like, oh, they automatically go to negative. So my youngest client was 3 years old.
Wow.
And it's like, right. But you would think your wow isn't like, wow, like, great, you helped a 3-year-old. Your wow is like, what does a 3-year-old want with
You're
therapy?
right. I really was like, wow.
Right. And
why in the
so
world with
in
a
this
3-year-old?
particular case, it was just a kinship transition assistance.
Going
Okay,
from
so
one
you
guardian to the
do-
next.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of it all. You're
Yes.
a Jill of all trades.
Yes, always have been. True Sagittarius. Be like, wasn't you just a bartender last year?
Hey,
Sure
but
was.
I know how to do that now. Okay.
Exactly.
That's how it is. Look,
That's
as
a resume builder. Hush.
As a Sagittarius, I just wanted to put that out there.
Come on, speak on it, babe.
Especially us November Sages.
Yeah.
We're
Here we go.
have I boom, yeah. Sit back. You December. We are very adventurous. You're like, you know what? I have this great idea. I'm gonna do it, and then all of a sudden, like, you know what? It's done. I don't want to do it no more. But I did it.
And I got the paper to prove it.
And I got the paper to prove it. I did it.
Yes.
December Sages are very much similar.
Y'all are the mellow ones. Y'all be like, yeah, this kind of is chill.
We are very mellow, very chill. We're the West Coast version of Sagittarius. If November Sages are the East Coast, we're the West Coast. The ones after us, they're probably in the Midwest somewhere.
Fun.
But we are literally laid back, chill. Everything is blase blah until we like pop off. And then it's like, oh shit.
Right. Everybody looking at you. What happened? Who did it?
Who did it? Y'all motherfuckers did it. You know?
Look,
Oh, yeah.
she got
I'm
hyped.
just letting y'all know this is going to be one cussing ass episode today.
Straight out of Compton. That's how we are.
Well, we try to be lover and friend over here, you know. So that's November Sages. We're like, no.
I will say this, November and December Sages, they are the ones. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are dating a November or December, early December Sag, like the second, drop them ASAP. They will hurt your feelings. They are the rudest, non-committal,
talking about November Sages?
and early December Sages. They have commitment issues.
Aren't you early December?
I'm the second full week of December. I am clearly, as y'all identified, something totally different from what you guys are.
Okay. Well, anyway, Kia, continue about yourself.
I don't even know what happened.
Look me out. Anyway, December 9th Sages, stand up, girls and boys. Love you guys.
OMG. So
It's a hateration within the Sag community already. Sheesh.
You know, hateration, just telling the truth.
It's hateration in this dancery.
Oh, Lord.
Listen,
Speaking
I'm
of
so
Mary, I
glad
heard about-
Mary got her flowers.
Did she get a Grammy yet?
She got her flowers at the
Yes,
BET
at the
Awards. She
BET
was
Awards.
nominated for the Lifetime Achievement Award. How many of y'all can do the Mary dance?
I
think everybody.
Everybody can do the Mary dance. Can you do the Mary dance?
I'm trying right now. Am I doing it? It's like real stiff.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, so Kia, continue.
Ooh, child. This is where we need like a program list because we done went everywhere and around the world.
That's the whole point about the podcast. Just kind of talk it out.
I don't even remember. Oh, you were asking me about the age. Oh, and my oldest
children's.
client was 21.
Okay.
So
That's a grown child.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I tend to work with the whole family because, as we all know, we get most of our issues from our
Speak
parents.
on it.
So
Parents,
it's,
guardians.
You know, yes. We're just home life in general. So it's important to include the whole entire family on the child's healing.
Family healing too.
Yeah. Yeah. But
So are you like that lady that be on OWN?
which one? I am.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Mm-mm.
Can you
I
fix
don't
my
think she
life?
fixes lives
I don't
though.
necessarily. I wouldn't say I would like to think that I'm fixing somebody's life, but I don't. I'm definitely not. She's very eclectic.
Very.
and very. I mean, her methods
in her
are
own
definitely.
way.
Yes, that's why she has her own show, but that's not my style at all.
I don't think it's a lot of people's style.
That's not my style at all. But no, it's. I already kind of come with the sheet that says what's wrong with you.
Ooh.
And I got to just figure out why. And how do we give you the coping skills?
Where
and
do we
how
go from here?
How do we fix it? Is it you or is it y'all? So,
In my opinion, it's always you. That's the one person that you can fix is you.
Not necessarily, but you know.
You can't fix nobody else.
Well, you can't fix yourself all the time, too.
Well, you can use help and tools, and you can get counseling help. You can, bullet journal. You can meditate. You can.
but if you don't know any of that at 6 years old,
Yeah. Ooh, yes.
Yeah. Again, children.
That's right.
Kia love
I
the
keep
ki-
forgetting it's children.
Kia love the kids.
I do.
She does.
I have a lot of fun. It's I mean, being an educator for 16 years is definitely different. What I do as my passion is very different as what I do for my 9 to 5. So,
Do you want to share what you do for your 9 to 5?
I am an educator. I've been teaching technology for 16 years.
Ooh.
Woo,
So
child.
technology like laptops, computers, or
Laptops.
technology like programming?
All of the above, anything you could possibly think of.
Nice.
Yes, we started out with I would say a good $6-figure Mac lab, everything Apple. And things changed. And now we're on Chromebooks. So, yeah, so I mean,
good
like
old, economy.
Ooh, child.
Yeah.
But I would like to say one of the best lessons was my GarageBand lesson. I loved the heck out of that.
Which we are using for the podcast.
Yeah, shout out to Apple. Thank you so much. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. Teaching kids that it's just not computers and games, that technology is everywhere. For the athletes, it was awesome that ESPN came out with the
Sports science.
I could teach them how to relate that, because not everybody's going to make it to the NFL and not make it to, the NBA. Teaching them about GarageBand and how to use GarageBand.
Teaching how to become producers, how to become
Exactly, because everybody can't be.
Right.
And one of the things that was really cool is I have a couple of friends that are musicians. So during that unit, I had some of my musician friends. At the time, it was Skype in and teach and basically talk about some of the things that they do with technology as being one was a programmer and another was actually a jazz musician. So I mean, that was the best time for me. I loved doing that because the kids were really like, oh my goodness. And the lab,
They really got something out of it.
Yeah, and I would turn off the lights, put on some really cool, like, earthy ocean music and let them just create. And like, you tell me what you come up with. And they would come up with some hot stuff. And I'm like, see, you don't have to be a rapper. And then actually having them listen to the lyrics. Like, I was like, you need to know that Lil Wayne actually went to college. Rick Ross also went to college. Like, these people went to school to learn their business, to learn X, Y, and Z. And you can use technology. So that kind of, when that lab was lost, it kind of took the
fun out of it.
It's not the fun, it's very difficult when your resources are limited to teach a 21st century skill.
Right.
You need that, But
let me ask you,
I do my best, yeah.
As a teacher, what has been the hardest thing? Is it losing resources just over time? Losing resources, has that been probably the hardest adjustment that you faced in the teaching industry? Because we always hear about how teachers are faced with buying their own supplies. They're always kind of tasked with being mother to some children, father to some children, parent, guardian, pastor, all the different things that they have to be every day. And on top of that, paying out of their pocket for a lot of the resources. What's your biggest, or I guess I should say, what have you noticed is the biggest change over the past 16 years
in
the teaching industry?
I would say the loss of resources, also the loss of the value in education, period, public school education, period.
Talk about it.
When the influx of charter schools came into play, it kind of shifted things up. When we started competing with other countries, when we changed our math program, when we took out vocational schools, just so much has changed. And of course, as I've always said this with my educator friends, teaching a specialty, like art or like music, the bureaucracy and the BS, to put it, that goes with education never really comes to us, because we're kind of on the outside. Nobody really bothers with us.
It's also one of the first things to get cut.
Yes, but sometimes, you can make do, but because we're a specialty, like I said, the bureaucracy never really gets in our way. But here lately, that's not the case. It's very difficult, especially for someone like me. It's very difficult to do technology when you have no technology. It's very difficult to do to teach that particular skill or craft when your powers that be have no interest in it as well. So if you don't know anything about technology, you're not necessarily going to
push for it,
because you have so many other issues. You're like, oh, that baby need to read. Okay, but technology runs the world, and technology is 98% literacy. So if you can't, I don't know what to do. You can't read. I teach technology, not reading or math or anything else. So
would you say that the traditional education curriculum that folks are, most school districts have is archaic. It needs a full revamp, a full change, a full overhaul to say, okay, let's put all this majority away, focus on technology to get these children prepared for what's coming next.
Yes and no. I mean, I teach technology, so the reading aspect and the math aspect, I don't know the whole details of as far as like the teaching aspect of it in the curriculum. But
and I just want to add, you are K through 5, right?
K through 4.
K through 4.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a whole, your question encompasses all of K through 12. So Kia's expertise is K through 5.
Well, especially, K through 4, but
K through 4, sorry.
But would you say, especially in those primary years?
There we go. Add that caveat on top.
Yeah, in the primary years, technology needs to be, I would say, at least 75% of the curriculum that needs to be taught.
And the reason why I think Will is saying that also is because so much has come out about limiting younger kids' interaction with technology. It's like, don't have them too much screen time. They get plenty of it at school. Don't limit them, limit their time with, different things, because there's, different avenues and things that could get them into trouble if they're on their phones or meeting up with different people. So what's your take on all of that?
And before you answer, I
just want to say to the audience, do you realize they just asked me 5 questions?
We sure did.
We did.
And I'm trying to remember the first one.
Well,
the first one was should the curriculum be changed for K through 4?
And I think the gist of this is coming to mind because Shay and I, spent a little time watching one of our, favorite shows called The Marvel's Runaways. And in the show, one of the characters at this, posh school up in the hills learned ethical hacking. Mm-hmm. Ethical hacking in school. Mm-hmm. And, with the way that stuff is going into the world today, like I said, initially back to the question at hand was the curriculum overhaul, teaching kids how to be more tech savvy, creating the new stuff like that.
Well, let's start with one thing that you mentioned but didn't focus on. You said your show started at a posh school. Not all schools are posh.
Correct.
So that would be my first area of focus. Mm-hmm. If a posh school has the equipment and the resources to teach ethical hacking, so should the public school that are. I mean, some public schools are posh too. Correct. But some, the more poverty-stricken schools should also have that resource as well.
Low middle income.
Right. Gotcha. That's the first thing that needs to be changed. As far as curriculum, back to your first question, yes, I think curriculum throughout the whole litany of education needs to be changed because I wouldn't say it's archaic, but think about history, we've totally negated to talk about real history for a very long time.
Talk about it.
So let's revamp
history
everything.
Books that need to be thrown away,
exactly.
Burned,
Let's revamp
restart
everything. And then also some things, for me, my opinion, again, I don't speak for everybody that I work with or whatever. This is just my opinion. I also think that some things worked. Some things worked. Everything is not for everybody. Everybody's not meant to go to college. But I also think that to me, again, I'm a conspiracy theorist. Shout out to my boo who helps me fuel my theories.
G. Gordon Hemsworth.
So, I think that was definitely set up.
Do you believe in the moon landing?
Sorry. But I think that when they took the vocational schools and out of the whole curriculum, I think that was to create more of a divide between the haves and have-nots. So again, those 5 questions are so loaded with different levels of
conception answers.
Right. So it's just like, I don't even know where to begin. But does it all need to start over? Totally. I think we all need just an implosion.
It's interesting that you feel that way. As someone who has a child in education, I almost want her to have the basics. Mm-hmm. But I do think that there's, like in first grade, they're getting assigned a laptop. Mm-hmm.
Probably a Chromebook.
That's probably a Chromebook. I don't have a problem with that, but I noticed a lot of parents who did.
Let me say this. One thing that I definitely am, when I'm asked, when someone wants to actually know how I feel about it, I feel like electronic devices are pushed. Electronic devices have replaced the television. Back when we were growing up and
Ain't
raised,
nothing like seeing that TV rolling, like sleep time.
No, it was
not
Reading
that
Rainbow.
way. Not that way.
Oh,
Come back.
gotcha.
What I'm saying is when we were being raised, parents were saying to other parents, don't put your baby in front of the TV. Don't let the TV raise your child. Well, now the device is raising your child. And now the device can go everywhere. The TV couldn't go everywhere. So now the device can go everywhere. That's the problem that I have, because it's stopping children from being able to make common sense, higher order thinking, because everything is instantaneous.
Speak on it.
Everything is instantaneous. So as a technology teacher, that's great and that's wonderful. But if you can't multitask or complete a task from step 1 to 5, you're not a good computer student or technology student. A lot of parents are like, oh, my kid can work my phone. When you go out into the real world, you're not working a phone
at all.
You're working these particular programs that you have to start from step 1, step 2, step 3. Like we'll have gaming challenges. We'll gamify a lesson. And I have kids literally throwing laptops, storming out of the classroom because they can't figure it out. Not take the time to, because again, poverty-stricken district, they don't have those type of skills. So there's a whole mess of things going on that, to me, it's like, okay, if we were to really look at it, we can do these things, but what else are we doing to help these type of children?
I think that's part of it. There's a whole, there's a key component missing. And, there's this great debate, are charter schools, vocational schools better at serving children from various backgrounds, because a lot of them do accept a few on scholarships and things like that, from impoverished neighborhoods to come to those schools. Do they serve our children better because they have the resources? Versus public schools, who are still lacking in a lot of resources, lacking in smaller class size. The things that you've heard, I'm sure plenty of people have heard and experienced in their current school districts in major metropolitan areas. I can't speak on rural areas. But I know, London was one of 15 in her class. To me, that seems like a regular size class. I didn't think there was any difference between her class there and when she went to charter school, when it was 18 in the class.
It's from, it's summer, so I'm on vacation. But
shout out to summer vacation.
Oh, it's so needy. You have no idea. But Monday through Friday, I teach over 600 students.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
Like, that's the whole class. That's the whole school.
It is the whole school. It's the whole school. Yeah.
And I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, I know. Most people don't. And it's just like, and then people are like, oh, you teach a specialty that doesn't matter. You don't understand. Like, I'm not I could teach you how to jump. Like, we could do jump rope and play physical fitness. That's different.
Right.
We could all sing. We could all sing. You know what I mean? We could all sing. You may not be able to sing. You can hum. You know what I mean? You may not be able to draw, but you could color. You know what I mean? But technology is far different than all of those types of specialties. So thinking how to differentiate, thinking how to do the level of primary when it's a high school type of curriculum, right? And to fit it all, it's and then to work with a type of demographic that is lacking in the remedial skills. It's just like, can I get some coffee for free? You know what I mean? I mean, it's stressful, but I mean, Shout out to my colleagues. I love y'all. They keep me going. They rub my back. You know,
listen, the teachers have to have a good support system.
It is.
You know, as a daughter of an educator, my mom spent countless evenings. I can't even count calling parents and telling them their kid is not going to pass because they're not at the level that they need to, and the reason is why is because there's no support at home, or their child is just on a first grade reading level. My mom taught English, so English and reading, and it's like she taught middle school. So if your child is on a first grade reading level, the best she could do is probably get them to a second or third.
Right.
They're not going to be where they need to be.
Right.
And so I can imagine you have 600 kids. They're all over the spectrum when it comes to their use of technology. Sure, they all can swipe up, swipe left, make a post, but it's like
No, you gotta know your left and your right. You gotta know your left and your right.
We starting at the basics,
like I said,
English.
Common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense is not common.
It's
That's the
not.
problem. Like literally,
But you're
I need
trying to teach
look
it.
left. You gotta know your left and your right.
Yes.
Click on the red dot. You gotta know where red and a dot is.
And that's reality.
It's the truth.
That is the reality.
And it's all, again, it's about like when you're playing a game, it's very much in your head, trial and error. Mm-hmm. But when you're learning a program, it's about following direction. Mm-hmm. So when I'm coming, a lot of children don't know how to follow direction.
Speak on it.
So you try to find different ways of, here I'm going to put a video up. It's Flip Classroom. You're going to be control of your own lesson, so you can pause and play it. But if you can't multitask and toggle and track, that's going to jack you up.
Right.
So let's start over again. Let's
so
write
maybe you
down.
get a sheet of paper.
Right. But you got to be able to read the sheet
you
of
got to
paper.
be able to write.
And write. So again, and then my school is largely Latinx and Hispanic. So, your A in your language doesn't look like my A in my language. And then we got this keyboard that all the letters look different.
Yeah.
So again, those are things that I feel like people really, like, administration really doesn't think about.
Yes.
So
they blanket it. They're like,
yeah.
They're like, oh, everyone can learn it. They'll do it. Oh, there's a frog on the window.
Froggy came to visit and join our podcast. Hi, Froggy.
That's a sign, y'all.
What does that mean?
I know, we gotta find it.
Okay.
Oh, side note, Mercury's in pre-retrograde right now.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it
and
is.
it's going to be joined with Mars, so get ready for trickery and battle.
Thank you for looking it up, babe.
Boom.
Just want you guys, as you know, I always drop my manifestations. Tuesday is the solar eclipse, new moon over South America. So make sure you manifest your greatness. Tuesday.
Hello. Tuesday is it.
As Kia looks up what a frog means.
I've been up on it, but not to take away from the topic that we were discussing. I mean, like I said,
this is great information.
It's just a blanket, and then school administrators or school boards are like, oh well, everyone can learn it, and then they'll just figure it out. And then if they don't figure it out, then they'll just fall by the wayside.
So, Kia, let me ask you, what do you think are charter schools better?
I don't know.
Okay.
I never taught at a charter school.
Okay.
I don't know. Because there's so many. There's so many.
And I can be honest with you. As a parent, we've had our child in both. Mm-hmm.
Chesterbrook.
I can't.
Charter school.
You know what, though? I want to say this, though. There's a school in Atlanta that I can't off the top of my head, that the one thing that I say about charter schools, that if you have the funding, if your board is creative and flexible, your charter school can do anything. Mm-hmm. This particular school, I think it's the Ron Clark Academy in Atlanta, Georgia. I want to work at that school. You know what I mean? They are doing so many great and wonderful things, and it's just like, because the autonomy,
right?
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you have to, take Welcome to Wakanda and transfer it into some type of robotics type of lesson, go right ahead. You know what I mean? And have you need this, here you go. You know, it's the funding, it's the creativity. And it's like sometimes, especially when your school is under state, you know, guidelines, or most schools, public schools are under state guidelines, you have to do X, Y, and Z at a certain time at a certain rate and
Oh, really?
So, yeah, like, so it's just like I can't be and then there's no resources. So if I wanted to do something like that,
It's got to come out your own pocket.
And if your school district isn't paying that well, you like, wait a minute.
Right. Right.
Where's this money coming from? So, I mean, again,
and that's a reality.
I love what I do. I love seeing the light bulb, as people say, go off in my kid's head. I love introducing them to things as far as technology is concerned, how it's everywhere and how you could use it in different, you know, sectors. I feel like primary and elementary school should be ground zero for introduction to all types of things, all types of music, all types of art, all types of technology, all types of physical education. I think that's what we're there for, specialties to open their minds. But it's really difficult when, you know, everybody doesn't share your vision.
And there's no budget.
And there's no big budget.
Because that's a big part of it, too.
Money, 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 money.
Yes.
Yes, girl.
Side note, your frog totem is strongly connected with the element of water, so the frog meaning is closely associated with cleansing and purifying.
There you go.
The appearance of
So
frog
the frog
spirit is
cleansing our house.
The appearance of the frog spirit animal symbolizes the prosperous and abundant time for you and loved ones.
Ooh, prosperity and abundance. I welcome you, Froggy.
Yeah.
I'm calling Frogger.
Frogger.
I think this was like a really great, you know, I mean, I know some folks are listening like, oh, it kind of started off kind of weird, but we definitely dove in.
That is the Sagittarius in us.
That's the Sagittarius. I mean, when three or more of us are united, we're going to be all over the place.
We are.
But it was definitely a great conversation, and we definitely could dive into this more and more. And Kia's going to be on a lot more, guys. So you'll get
we definitely want to delve into her.
Yeah,
her relationship. She has a very interesting journey. So we'd love to delve into that.
I think that may be girl talk. I might just like, you know, come set up.
My segment's going to be called "I'm Not There Yet."
Oh,
okay.
Just to let you know.
I like that.
Oh, I can feel everyone saying, "Oh, we want to hear
that."
I'm not
that after this.
I'm going to hear that. I'm not there yet.
Right. That's what I said. You want to record that after this one? Because we could probably wrap that up real quick.
Right. But you know, Kia, we thank you for coming. I mean, this isn't the last time we're going to hear from you. We're going to definitely dive back into this. Thank you for all of our listeners who are listening. And if you have an educator or a friend or who is an educator or a school administrator, you know, this is definitely a good conversation. Again, okay, I actually want to link you up with my big homie who has a podcast. It's called Teach, Hustle, Inspire. His name is Sean Woodley. He's a really good friend of mine, and you know, he's doing good work with that. So definitely want to get up with him soon. And do that. But you know, again, Two Cool Parents Podcast with Will and Shay. You can find us on Instagram at Two Cool Parents Podcast. That's the number 2, Cool Parents. Twitter, Two Cool Parents. Facebook, Two Cool Parents. She loves it when I do what?
And on Instagram at
I did that. I just did all that. Shout out to Lakey Inspire for the music. I do. You know, we have to cut things down to an hour because of one of Kia's comments. One time, she was like, "You guys do like those long episodes, so we do it within an hour." Season 2.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I should see Shay's face right now. She's like,
she would choke the shit out yours.
She sounds like that dog that was on Wacky Races.
I sound like nothing of the sort.
All right, y'all. Love, peace, hair grease. We out.
Love and light.